I'm going to go ahead and use the rotary table to bore the big hole out of the center here. Okay, so I'm doing some of the setup right now. And there may be better ways. I made this piece. It's a very nice close fit. I want the hole to come out fairly nice, but it doesn't matter if it's off a few thou, you know, in any direction there. Okay, this is a clearance hole so that because it's so thick, that way the hub can go down inside this without hitting the plate. So I just need it to clear the hub, the back of the hub where the seal is. So it's not extremely critical that it's, you know, like within a half thou or even a thou. So I have this piece in here. It's just a piece I made to fit in there that's got a really nice fit and tolerance. And then I can come in and basically adjust my X and Y until this drops in. And now, to do that hole, I don't need this thing to be centered, okay? This thing could be way the heck out here because I'm going to be taking it off center anyway in order to get the diameter, okay? I have to move it off and then crank this around to make the hole. The reason I'm putting it in there right now and getting it centered is so that when I put this stuff up there with the rotary table centered directly under here, then when I clamp this down, all I have to do is put it in there and drop the coil down and get the center hole lined up and clamp it, and I'll be really, really close there too. So then I know that I'll be concentric with where I need to be. Then I can either go X or Y to get it out to the diameter I want. Clamp it. So I can, you know, whatever it takes to get the clamps on here now to hold this thing down. Get an idea, you know, that it's better if I, you know, because I really don't want to have to clamp right there because that's the closest point. Okay, so let's turn this, and I'm thinking that might be a little better, and I can get over here and get some good meat. 2 places ought to be plenty for this. So I'm using a 9/16 cutter here, okay, because the flute length on the 1/2 inch wasn't really tall enough to get all the way through the 1 inch of material, okay, and I wanted to actually go through a little bit. So the 9/16 was long enough. And I figured it out. If you take, basically take the whole diameter I need here, 3 1/8 inches, 3.125, subtract the 9/16 from it, which is 0.5625, and then divide it by 2 to get the radius. And so I have the setup zeroed on the DRO right now, and so I can go either either direction, either axis. That I want, and then start dropping down. So I'll pull up a little shy. So the number I'm looking for is 1.28 for the radius. Oh, and I also took it off the side here, put the cutter down, and made sure that I can go below the height of this sacrificial plate down here. Okay, so I can at least get the cutter down below the top of that, so I can fully cut through both thicknesses. And when I set it down on there, I zeroed my z-axis. So now I'll know that when I get down to 0 and go a little bit further, I'll know exactly where I'm at. So I'm looking for 1.281. So let's go to 1.25. That'll leave roughly 30 thousandths there to do, and let's see. I should have, you know, about 60 thousandths left to cut. So, and this isn't real critical. I'm at I think I'll start dropping it down. riser, I'm going to have to check on that. I got about just under 5/8 of an inch to go. Well, there's the first 1/2 inch. Let's do the rest. Luckily, I gave myself some extra room. Instead of grabbing this handle to turn it, I grabbed the Y-axis. Not good. Okay, let's try that again. Well, I guess that's pretty much the last depth cut. I'm going to run it down a little bit more because it's kind of ragged on the edge down there. And then I'll worry about the cleaning up the outer circumference. And if you see that, there's my little oops on with the Y-axis. I'm going to go ahead, since this dimension isn't critical and bigger isn't really going to affect anything, I'm going to go ahead and run it out until that gets cleaned up. So that's what I'm going to shoot for now. Because I've only got another 10 thousandths to go, and I think that's a little bit deeper. We'll see. Okay, that finish is good enough, but I think I'm going to try one last thing here. I think we'll use a little WD-40 and we'll go out 5 or 10 down. We'll do a climb cut going back the other way and see if see how it looks. A little bit different finish, and I'm sure a lot of that has to do with the fact that the climb cut's pulling it and it's bouncing off the teeth, the gears or whatever in here, so it's not exactly it's the backlash I'm fighting with. So I think maybe one more run around real light with the conventional cut and we'll see how that looks. Let me double check that with the calipers. Choo, choo, choo. I'm sure looking at that over there on that side that that should be just right. Well, let's see here. have 318. Okay, so instead of oh, wait, that's too small. I'm supposed to go to wait. 3125, I have 318 instead. So I'm what is that? 75, 65 thou, 55 thou more. Whatever the math is. Don't have to be too bright to be me. Anyway, that should be plenty. I can actually move it out of the way and drop the hub in. Alright, there's the Toyota 5-lug hub. And look at that, plenty of room. I really only needed to clear that first part, I think. Just about to the end of the bracket build here, at least pretty much all that's left. I have one more thing I want to do with the router. But I'm going to drill the holes separately because I can't drill it with the bolts in anyway. And, you know, once I drill this hole out, I don't have anywhere else to put the bolts anyway. So we'll do the one last thing on the router, and then they may sit until I get the taps and the inserts and that stuff, so that I can make sure I have the right stuff. And I don't want to, you know, in case the order comes in wrong or something like that. Anyway, got WD-40 in the middle here. So everything's at least center drilled or drilled and tapped. So I'll punch those to what I need them to be a little bit later. Nice. Okay, let's do the router. If you're wondering why, instead of just, you know, going around like that, I'm not doing that, and I'm rotating it around like this, it's because when it gets to the other side here, the chips will be flying straight at me. So I'm protecting myself basically by keeping the chips behind this wall. So that's the same reason, you know, I'm not running the whole thing around like this. Plus, too, to have it, the bit on my side, chips thrown at me, it's more dangerous reaching over there too. So I went ahead and drilled the holes to 3/8. Wasn't anything exciting there, and I just used my hand deburrer to deburr the holes there. I thought I'd point this out. Okay, I drilled them with a 3/8. Okay. The ones in the, at least on the 521, 520, 320, these upper holes are pass-throughs. Okay, on the 620 they're threaded and they use a metric. So there's 3/8. It's actually a 25/64 hole. So my clearance and tolerance on the brackets is actually better than what the factory used. Very little play. I like that. So, you know, so it lines right up on the other hole. And let's see now, just as a check here. This is the first one. I'd already checked it once. I didn't check the second one. This is the second one I drilled. So I'm just kind of curious. Nice. All lined up. Man, that's pretty, huh? That's nice. Okay. Drilling and tapping these isn't going to be any great deal, but I do want to wait till I get the inserts in case there's something different or off with them or something like that. Let's see what they look like when they come out of the glass beads. Well, let's just get a little record here what they look like going in. Well, the one on the right is glass beaded. And there's the comparison. Yeah, it takes a little red ink right off or whatever. They could be put on the truck just like this. They could be polished. I basically just shoot them with the glass beads to give them a nice even finish that looks pretty decent. Dave can put whatever finish on them he wants. They're ready right now. All you'd have to do is spray them with a little brake cleaner, dry them off, and then you could powder coat them. Or paint them, whatever you want to do. I'm not going to do any of that. So, a couple holes left to drill and tap. I probably won't revisit that. I'll probably show that at a later video when I add it to something else. The brackets, at least for the most part, for right now, until the 9th or something like that, when I get the inserts in, we're done with this. Now I can move on to some of the other stuff.